borrowing would only deepen our debt and burden future generations. Raising taxes would place unbearable strain on households. And choosing inaction would condemn our nation to stagnation. That is why we must act with courage, innovation, and foresight to design alternative financing mechanisms, leverage mature national assets, and tap into robust public-private partnerships to undertake this national development imperative. Fellow citizens, 3 weeks ago, I signed the Government-Owned Enterprises Bill into law. The new law revolutionizes the management and governance of state-owned enterprises, professionalizing boards through merit-based independent appointments and tying leadership to measurable results. This is a very consequential reform. It is the most far-reaching reform of government corporations since independence, aimed at turning legacy parastatals into commercially disciplined companies that will serve our public interest. The passage of this law ends the era of cronyism and patronage in our state-owned enterprises. This law explicitly disqualifies any person who has served in a public or political office within the last 5 years from appointment. On Monday, under this new legal framework, and to start this administration's bold and ambitious Kenya shillings 5 trillion roadmap to transform our nation, the Cabinet will meet to consider and approve the architecture of the National Infrastructure Fund as the engine that will align our financial resources with our development goals. Through innovative mobilization of domestic resources, strategic monetization of mature national assets, democratization of ownership through capital markets, and innovative deployment of national savings, we will unlock large-scale private sector capital to fund our national priorities while reducing reliance on borrowing and taxation. For decades, Kenya privatized major assets including Kenya Airways, KenGen, Kenya Re, and Safaricom, yet the proceeds were absorbed into the budget, paying salaries and debts, leaving no enduring national assets behind. Through the National Infrastructure Fund, all privatization proceeds will be ring-fenced and invested strictly into public infrastructure development that generate and preserve more value. This principle is already being actualized. Proceeds from the current privatization processes will be channeled directly into the fund, setting a new national standard where national assets create lasting public value. Our goal is simple. For every shilling in the National Infrastructure Fund, we will attract 10 more shillings from long-term investors, including pension funds, sovereign partners, private equity funds, and development finance institutions, allowing us to develop without the constraints that come with debt and taxation. The National Infrastructure Fund will not just be a financing instrument. It will be a generational strategy to mobilize capital, accelerate delivery, preserve value, and secure Kenya's long-term competitiveness.